I want to introduce your incredible creation, Aice. Aice is really revolutionary in that it is literally the only AI that is designed specifically to serve network marketers, direct sellers, brand ambassadors, affiliate marketers, people with at home businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. Lisa, thank you so much. I've been kind of in this weird dual track of network marketing and technology for the last, okay, I got started in network marketing when I was a senior in high school. And I have vivid memories of drawing out a compensation plan, like in study hall on the back of a homework assignment that I had definitely failed.
So you're 17 years old, you're sitting in study hall. Tell me how you got into network marketing.
Yeah, as a kid, network marketing actually through my now father-in-law, but my high school sweetheart's dad. He's the one who introduced me to the concept. And he had been a diamond in Amway, the grandfather of all network marketing companies, right? And I have a vivid memory of taking my then girlfriend, now wife, Lauren, and I got a limo and we rolled up on this house, and the limo driver's like, he looks back, and this look this massive house, like, "Yeah, I think so," because you're not here for no money at all, right? And so just like if you're familiar with the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, I mean, that was definitely kind of the vibe because like this guy, my father-in-law, Charlie, had no formal education, right? Came from nothing, built his own business. And where I come from, like a long line of like teachers and theaters, et cetera, et cetera. So just like this colliding of worlds. And anyone then asks, what do you do? And he explained network marketing to me. It's like, okay, I went in. I'm hooked. Tell me more. Yeah. So I went to a college prep high school. I was on scholarship. And we had, at the end of the year, at the end of your senior year before graduation, there is like a, almost like a senior banquet, I guess. And, they read off as you're being announced to come up and picture taking what you're going to do after high school. And it was going to this college, going to this college, going to this college, college, and college, and college. And then they called me up, and I said, and the principal had to read with a straight face, Brian plans to build his network market. The amount of parents that were like, had concerned looks on their faces, like, is he sure?
So tell me, were your parents supportive?
Yeah, my dad was super supportive,
But
100%.
like he was in education.
So my dad was a Hall of Fame football coach. Like that's from school. And he's always had a non-tradition was since that he had started a business. He was an inventor. He owned several patents. In fact, for a couple NFL teams that used one of his football. Never really made a lot of money in that because he was always like a creative mind, but didn't love the business side. So because of that, he was more open to like a non-traditional approach. I mean, other members of my family were concerned, but he was super supportive.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. So that's likely where you get a lot of that creative brain that you've got. What is ACE and how did you create it?
I'd always been interested in technology. I'm a self-taught software engineer, and in like my day job, I've done everything from working at startups that have been sold for $1 billion. One of my last like jobs, and I was a senior software engineer at a Fortune 100. And I was lucky to kind of come of age in a time where the entirety of human knowledge existed on the and so having kind of this interest in technology and coming from like a network marketing background, I'd always been like frustrated by the lack of like really good tools to serve the network marketing vertical that existed in kind of like the more corporate space. And so I always kind of thought of it like this. If something new and exciting was like ever created, then maybe network marketers got a version of it that was slightly crappier 5 years later. That's what I always see as kind of a trend. Space. And it made no sense to me because I was just surrounded by all this like vibrant, innovative people and companies. And those like, why is the tech lagging? So I'd always been thinking about technology and network marketing. And for years, I had kind of thought about like, if I was going to create a tool, organize my business in direct sales, what would it look like? And so I had these ideas. But about 7, 8 months ago, Chat GPT gets launched, right? Or whenever that was. I don't even think it's a year old. And kind of the 4 minute mile in the text run. And suddenly you're seeing these incredible AI, apps that are being developed. People are using it to just get context into problems that you would have never been able to see before. And I went, oh my gosh. Like I'm looking at my list of features that like would be in my dream network marketing app. And I was like, I can build this now. So quit my job, raised capital, started Ace. Ace is like the ultimate, like you said, network marketing productivity. It's got a personalized assistant that's been trained on the network marketing legends in the space. and that's context into someone's prospects, products. So like you could pull up your assistant and say, which prospect should I recommend product to? And it knows who you're talking about because it knows who your prospects are. It knows what your products are. It's those years that I spent in my father-in-law's office listening to I own a cassette tape player just for, audios that came out of the golden age of network marketing. Like those years and years and years built into this AI.
Honestly, that is such an asset, I can't even begin to tell you. I'm super jealous.
I worked out. I mean, I really did. Like I lucked out by having that experience for sure. Experience velocity is embedded in this app. 100.
So how does the AI know your products and your prospects?
It's a great question. One of the things we've done is we've built some really cool algorithms to understand like the context and the content of a product. So you can add your products to Ace, or if your company or organization has an agreement, they might already be added for you. But basically, somehow we're getting that product data from the company or from the user, and then we're analyzing all of that data and the content around those products. We're looking at marketing trends around, the industry verticals that you're in, and then as you add notes or contacts into your CRM, like the CRM component of the app, it's like matching, like saying, okay, hey, this person has this, challenge that we've added. This product solves that challenge. And like it's kind of matching that up.
I'm gonna break it down for, for everyone, for every listener. There are
Yeah.
some people that don't even know, or I'm gonna delete that part. Thank you so much, honey. My
Oh,
honey's so nice bringing me coffee.
Problem.
Johnny, this is Brian. Brian, this is Tony. So, for those of us who don't quite know what CRM is, can you like break it down, specifically AI for dummies?
Yeah, sure. So CRM stands for customer relation or contact relation management, customer relation management. So that's C is contact or customer, I can't remember what it is, but it's
I think
relationship.
they're changeable. We'll just
Yeah.
make it changeable.
Yeah, it's cool. Essentially, it's like it's an app that tracks your contacts, but then information about those contacts. So in the kind of the corporate sales world, salespeople will use CRMs like Salesforce to say, okay, here's a contact, here's an opportunity. What's the latest? So that's what that kind of catch-all term means.
Okay, so let's say I get the app and you can use the app on your computer and or your phone,
Yep.
right? Okay. Let's say I have 10 prospects and so now I upload those prospects by how do I upload them?
Yeah, so you can either enter them one at a time manually on iPhone, for example. You can see your contacts. We're working on a Facebook contact importer. So there's a couple different ways that you can add
Very
it.
cool.
Yeah. My favorite way is to go one at a time. I've never been a fan of the importing. And the reason for that is when you add a contact, we ask you to log a note about that contact. And that kind of starts giving the system context into who, that person is. And so I've always tell people, as you're having conversations with your network, and after you reach out to someone on Messenger, then add them to the Ace, kind of do it gradually. We've just seen the kind of the best results.
Yeah, pro tip, up one at a time. And as you're uploading them, it's as simple as pressing the plus button, typing in the first name and the last name, and then you're going to add a little note about them. What do you suggest for best practice for note?
I always say add either your relationship to that person or their profession, right? So like a great example of doing thing is if I add a new contact and Bob Jones is a chiropractor from Kansas City. This is my favorite part about AI. That's all it needs to be helpful to you. Because now, if you're in the health and wellness space, for example, I could say something like, create a text message for me to reach out to Bob about putting our products in his lobby. See, it knows he's a chiropractor now and knows you're in the health and wellness space. That's all it needs to be able to be useful.
Amazing. Amazing. Is it helpful if you add when you're adding the contact, like, I know this person through Facebook or I've been messaging this person through Instagram? Do you need to tell the AI where you're messengering the
That's it.
person?
Well, it will do its best with whatever you give it. So there's no right or wrong answer here. But one of the things I've noticed is you say, hey, this is a close personal friend of mine. Right? It's not then going to assume that you just met this person, right? So like the more detail you give it, the more helpful it can be. But that's entirely up. Because I'm the kind of person who when I take notes, I like 4 words like met at Starbucks and that's it. So I desires to be helpful to someone who is as not verbose on notes as I am.
So, in addition to being a manager for your prospect list, a manager for your customer list, it can also help you manage a downline. And how can it help?
So that's actually like a really interesting concept. So I had a leader recently who we're rolling it out for us. It is both your mentor and your assistant, which is such an interesting concept. And I really love that idea. So essentially, like in the context of how is it your mentor? Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but when I first joined network marketing, I was so annoying to my upline. And like, I know that he was nice about it, but I would find like every time someone would send a text message, I would say, how do I respond to this? Or like, I've got this amazing prospect. How should I reach out to this person? And I would just bombard my upline. And that happens. And I've interviewed a lot of top leaders. That's a very common occurrence, right? People are kind of like, I don't know what to say. So with Ace, you can say, hey, I just got this message. How should I respond to this? In fact, with Ace, you can actually even take a screenshot of a prospect's text message to you, upload it, and it will just, it'll give you that answer.
Yeah, I'm excited to use that feature. I happen to have a team, I happen to have a downline. And I actually really like it when people are asking me, like, how would you respond to this? What's the best next thing for me to say? Or this person isn't responding to me. They've ghosted me. What should I do?
Right.
And I find that the people that do ask the questions and bombard, quote unquote, bombard their mentor or their upline, those are the successful people.
You get excited when you have someone like that in your organization, 100%. And what's so cool though, and this is what I really love about Ace, is that like when you are that person for a large group of people, there inevitably becomes like a lag in that, right? Or like, hey, I mean, I just sent 100 messages, or at scale, right? Like, hey, maybe I'm not Lisa, or maybe I don't have the answer. Like, I can't answer like Lisa would answer. And so it can say like, what if then now you can set everybody on their team. So if you're not available, they can still get an answer that's going to be somewhat resemble something to it.
Or better.
Yeah, sure. I would never say that.
Don't know. I mean, listen, sometimes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in addition to being, a customer manager tool, a team management tool, how can ACE help with people who want to use social media?
One of the features that we have in Ace is called Scripter and Social Creator. So these kind of cover the two dual tracks that might have in your network marketing. Just what do I say to someone I'm in an active conversation with? What do I post on social media? What's cool about both of these features is we have built in tons and tons of different goals, message templates, et cetera, et cetera. So you can say, hey, I need to create a Facebook post. Here's the kind of one of the goals that I want to do, maybe tease a new promo, et cetera, et cetera. Here's the product that I want to tease or post about. And here's some key considerations. You can just dump all of that into Ace and then it will create a social media post for you. So if you're someone like me who's like, oh, I know I need to post something today, but dear goodness, I don't one, have it in me creatively. And two, I have no idea what to post. So this is an example of Ace. This is like a demo account that's connected to an organization we're rolling out right now. So if there's any branded products in here, that's why. But essentially, when I'm talking about social media content, I can come over to Assistant. I can click on apps, click on social creator. I can pick the platform, and then I can choose from a list of preset goals, like share a personal milestone, or post an FAQ, or address a common misconception about network marketing. Share a behind the scenes look at your business. So like I could highlight a problem, product services, could click one of the products that we have, right? So in this case, the company's got copy, et cetera. And then it'll pull in all of that product information and actually create a social media post for you based on.
That's incredible. It
Right.
really is. And so, in order to get it on to social media, you just copy and paste it,
Yeah, exactly.
go over to your social media account.
Drop it in.
And can you show the different social media options that you've got in ACE?
Sure. So we've got, we need to change the logo for Twitter because apparently that just got but other than that, yes, we've gone all on here, all the ones.
Yeah, Twitter just changed to X for
Yeah.
some reason. I think people will know.
Yeah, we'll act that it on there soon. Right now, I missed the bird though. So essentially, tease about an upcoming surprise or announcement. I'll just pick a product. This coffee product, and then we'll say we're launching a special 20% off discount. It's nice. It's just simple.
This has just been so helpful to me. I've, really loved using it and getting to know the product.
100%.
Wow.
Yeah. So I grab that and what's cool too, and I'll point this out, is that it'll do it differently for me than it would for you. Because as I've used Ace, it's kind of learned my style. And we're consistently adding different ways that you can kind of tweak it and tune it. So like maybe you're someone who is, hilarious on social media. And if you have like kind of a serious post, your audience will be very confused. So we're constantly looking at ways to like make that better and understanding the kind of personality.
Can you show how to add a contact?
Sure. If I were to come into network real quick, add a contact name. Let's just do Matt Jones as a prospect.
I see you can add either prospect or customer or team member there.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I had Matt Jones. I could say Matt is a chiropractor from Kansas. And I could add phone number, email address, birthday. What's cool if you add a birthday is that it will automatically start reminding you to follow up with them on their birthday. So now I got Matt Jones in here. I can see um, information. I can start to see AI insights, making it a potential valuable addition to our company. Due to knowledge and experience in the health industry, it's already starting to kind of figure out who this person is. If I come in here and start adding notes, as I add notes, it's going to be, much better at helping me create content for Matt.
So I see on there is details for Matt, notes, tasks. What's a task?
Yeah, a task would be anything that you would have in your business. Like a task could be a reach out, a follow up, a check in, and or anything other than that. So I can say, I'm going to reach out about taking samples in Matt's office, and I'm going to reach out to Matt about this tomorrow. Cool. And then, great. Yeah, and then I could say, like, hey, what's next?
So it helps you sort of remember where you are in conversation with a particular prospect.
100%.
It's like having an assistant. Well, clearly.
Yeah. And so what's really nice about it is that we're constantly doing this to be better. We're constantly saying like, okay, how is this being used at scale? And how can we tweak and weight our algorithm so it becomes the most useful for someone? So that's one of the things that I would tell people is that like Ace, when Lisa first signed up for Ace, as opposed to Ace 60 days from now, the intelligence difference is going to be night and day. Like it's actively learning. And it's kind of freaks me out because I'm like, please don't turn on us and take over the world. But right now, it's super useful.
How can ACE help network marketers, social sellers with marketing?
The cool thing about Ace is that there's definitely present videos, images that you're using in your daily business right now. If you upload those into Ace, you can track when someone has watched it. So for instance, if I were to create like, I don't know, let's just do a link here. And this might be like my website link. And just do Google real quick. Cool. What's nice about this is that if I were to then create a share link out of this link, which sounds kind of weird, I can click on it. I click on share. You can click on a prospect. So let's just say Sarah Bang. So you see it says share link has been copied to clipboard. If I were to then send that to somebody, I would get a notification on my phone, like push notification and an email when Sarah had clicked it. And then I'd be able to view in the activity, Sarah had watched the presentation or get action.
That's incredible. And you can create your own videos on here, your own interactive video to
Yeah.
share with your prospects, your customers, your potentials.
100%. And we're doing some really cool stuff in this space. Right. Add video, images, link embeds of like YouTube, video embeds. You could add, video natively to the platform. On the organization side, if we're working with a company or organization directly, we're able to do some really cool interactive presentations that we can add in here. We've got really kind of a marketing solution that is on top of all of the stuff that we're doing with contacts and,
Can you share a little bit more about the other apps connected to ACE or the
sure.
apps inside of ACE, I should say?
The three that we have right now are Social Creator, Scripter, and Lightning Reply. Lightning Reply is where you can literally upload an image. If I'm talking to Matt Jones, content creator, for instance, I can upload a screenshot of our message thread, and it's going to read those messages and say, okay, here's a response for him. And if you're like an introvert or if you're someone who's like can't like, oh my gosh, I respond to 1,000 messages today, I can't even type out a response to this. You can literally just screenshot, upload it into here, and then it will craft a response for you to then be able to send on to your prospect, customer, team member, et cetera.
You can just read it off and put it into a voice message, or you
Yep.
can copy and paste it, or whatever it is that you want to do, what's most efficient for you.
100. Another example of what was really cool on here is like you can use, we have scripture. So you can click prospects, we'll say Sarah Benning, pick a goal. I could say offer details about an incentive or new compensation plan feature, reestablish contact with a team member after a long period of silence. Like all of these different things that you encounter in the daily grind of your network marketing business. We've added these goals in here. So basically you can just say, what's the goal? Who are we talking to? Is there a product you want to include? And then any additional considerations, and then it will create an actual like message for reaching out to someone for you. Hey, Sarah, it's been a while since we last connected. I just want to reach out and see how you're doing. Everything is going well. Journey towards financial freedom. Let me know if there's anything I can use to support you. Keep up the great work, Brian.
I
Right?
love it. One of the things that I really like about Ace is that it really appropriate and relevant for a team leader of thousands of people. You're a brand new person. So for those of you who do have teams, or for those of you who are just brand new starting out, Ace really is a tool that you, when you are ready to work your business and you want to sit down and start working your business, you can just simply open Ace up and get started with Ace. So your daily method of operation, your daily to-dos, the things that are going to be the income producing activities, even if you have no idea what to do in network marketing, what you've done is you've created a virtual upline.
One of the things that I really like is that it can handle complex product questions. We're actually doing some really cool stuff in this that's not ready for prime time yet, where eventually Ace can talk to your prospects for you. Coming. So in this company example, this is like a gas and fuel company. So I might ask a question like, hey, my prospect said was curious if the X cap worked with their Nissan Versa Note. Anyway, let's say Versa. Yes, it can be used to with any type of vehicle. Then I could say, but the owner's manual said not to put anything in the vehicle that contained meant.
Hopefully it understands misspelled words.
Because that's so nice for me. Well, so this is an example of a really niche question about a company's products. Like this one specific ingredient that like might be, said is bad or in their fuel or whatever. It knows what they're talking about. And so because it understands the product question, so there's really nothing that if your company has their products in, or if you've loaded your products in, a prospect were to ask you, that it wouldn't be able to then find the answer for you. Because I mean, how often? I mean, no one wants to feel like, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. Right. That's it's one of the worst feelings in the world. So you can just say, hey, once you get that question back and then ask it or send it back in real time, I mean, you've increased your productivity right there.
So to the network marketer who wants to work his or her business and they're stuck, they've put their business down, they're kind of like, I'm tired of hearing no, I'm tired of rejection. What would you suggest is the best starting place for them to jump into Ace, and where would they go?
The first thing that I would do is kind of define, what your goals are. Like, what was the thing that caused your bottleneck in the first place, right? Was it just you didn't really know who to be reaching out to, or you were just, not, obviously your communication wasn't as effective as possible. We're telling them no a lot. And then just tell Ace that. Be like, hey, listen, I haven't been doing my business for a while. I'm afraid to reach back out to my upline. Here's what I was struggling with. Type it into the chat and Ace will start coming up with suggestions for you. So that's the first thing I would say. Ask your virtual upline. Go from there.
I love it. I haven't really fully been able to explore all of the things because there is so much that you can do with this product. It's unbelievable. So, what is your absolute favorite thing that's coming down the pipeline for Ace that's not yet out?
Girl, one of the things, and first off, is there anything more you want me to share here? Do you want to share on? Yes.
Well, is there anything that you think that the audience needs to take a
Yeah,
look?
cool. So I'll answer those two in concert. So my favorite thing right now is that Ace is getting very, very good at answering product related questions and open-ended questions and all of these different things. What we're really excited about is we're going to be bringing down the pipe is something called a chat funnel. So in the example that I showed you is that if you go to the marketing tab, you click on link and you click share, right? You can just share a link out. Well, there's going to be another button right under this one called share as chat file, and you'll be able to send it out. And so it'll open up in a chat experience to the prospect. Hey, here's that link you requested, right? Or here's that video you requested. They'll be able to click on it, but they'll also be able to ask any questions directly to the AI. So for instance, if you send someone a product video about a specific kid skincare product or a nutritional supplement, and they might have a question like, well, I have XYZ allergy. Does it contain? If you got the ingredients listed in that product, it's going to answer the prospect's questions in real time. And it's going to be notifying you, hey, I just answered this question for your prospect.
What's
Right.
the mechanism that it's actually answering? Is it your email? Is it your text message? Is
It's
it
going to be an embedded chat experience. So like literally, like if you send them that link to open it, it can open up in a chat experience. They can ask those questions.
I get it. Okay. All right. Kinda like when you're shopping online and it's like, "Do you need any help?" And it's opening a chatbot or whatever that is.
Yeah, very similar to that. Very similar. It's going to be a little bit more, I don't know, less janky, where it's kind of like embedded on a website, but yes, they're very similar.
That is amazing. That I can't wait for that. That's gonna be super cool.
Yeah, it's coming soon. It's a feature that we want to demo at Ray Higdon's Faith Review event next week. So something that we're almost ready for prime time.
So that's the first week in September 2023.
Correct.
Ugh, I can't wait to see what's coming. Christmas is gonna be fun.
I would just say a couple of things that it's easy to kind of focus on the individual features of Ace, and you kind of miss the forest for the trees. And what I mean by that is when I saw what AI was doing in like the larger societal sense, I had this immediate thought that's definitely underscored to me recently. One, the massive shift of people who are maybe going to be facing job displacement and coming to the network marketing industry is going to be huge. And two, and part of that is, hey, can we use AI to help people solve that very problem? And that's kind of the heart behind Ace. I was on a podcast recently and they asked, what is, how do you measure success at Ace? And for me, it's helping 10,000 first time network marketers make their first sale using it. That's what our dream is. That's what our goal is. And there's going to be, I think, one of the biggest shifts towards the network marketing industry ever. How can we help people who have been entering the space for the first time win with the very thing that sent them looking for network marketing in the first place?
Yeah, that is a massive success. 10,000 people helping them make their first sale. And, I think the reason why a lot of network marketers get stuck or they never make that first sale or they never recruit that first person to their team is they just don't know what to do or
Yeah.
how to say or they're just fearful of rejection. And I think having a tool that teaches you or shows you exactly what to do and helps you is going to be a huge, huge push to move people into action.
I worked in the field as a software engineer, and I had this moment where I was interacting with Chat GPT. I'm an earlier version, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this thing is writing better code than some of the junior engineers that I've trained or worked with." That's just in my industry. Like, that's considered like a safe job industry. Right? It's like, no, hold on. How's this going to affect? I think if we can use these tools for helping people create some kind of freedom in their life, that's kind of going to be the gold standard, because there's going to be a lot of people who are like, this career that I've invested so much time in, I can't do this job as good as a robot can now.
There's a need here in network marketing. There's a tool here with AI. So how can we use it to help people make more money for themselves? And let's be honest, money is just really a tool that can be used to create the time freedom that really what people are looking for. I don't think people are looking for, yeah, I get that people need money to buy groceries, okay, and they wanna take trips, but after a while, it really is just a tool.
Yes.
So,
100%.
let's help people get that for themselves so that they can design that time freedom, that they want, that freedom of choices, right?
If time freedom is the ultimate goal of network marketing, then let's make it easier than ever before to actually achieve that time freedom, but getting some time freedom using AI, like while you're building.